I was in Celle Ligure, which is in the northwest of Italy, together with my parents. And at some point, there is this object that appears about 10 meters in front of us and started spinning like a flying turbine. And it started glowing. And while spinning at an incredible RPM, it was also shrinking in size till it actually disappeared while emitting a flash of light. For me, that was one of these events that was life-changing, and later on in life, actually, yeah, when I had to decide what to do in life, I went for aerospace engineering because maybe at some point I could have figured out what this thing was and reproduce part of the technology that I witnessed that day. I'm Andrea Lani, and I'm an aerospace engineer with a PhD in engineering sciences. In 2017 and 2018, I had two UFO sightings that were the ones, let's say, that at the end led me into some sort of spiritual exploration or spiritual awakening, or whatever you want to call it. I was in my house and I was stargazing. While looking at the sky, I expressed the desire to have a similar experience as the one that I had when I was a child. Shortly after that, I go to the bedroom and I was staring at the ceiling, and suddenly I see a ray of green light coming from the window, and in a matter of 1 second, the whole room is completely enlightened in green light, bright green light. So I go to the window, I pull the curtain, and I see two discs of bright green light that were flying over my backyard, and they were flying together like synchronously, and they also flew over the neighbor's roof. So it was interesting, you know. I formulated a thought in my mind, and maybe 10 minutes later I get this experience. I was again in my house during the night. I was stargazing. At that night I could see something like 20-30 stars, and I could see in particular the Orion belt. And again I made the same experiment in my mind, but it was not just an experiment, it was really a desire to connect, you know. And yeah, in a matter of what I perceive as being maybe 1 minute, the number of lights in the sky went from 20, 30 to thousands. It was the avalanche of lights that covered the complete sky. I thought maybe I'm dreaming, and I was touching my arm or something, and then I opened the window to feel the cold air. And when I opened the window, then I saw a orb, like a purple orb of light that appeared, crossed the Orion belt, and it disappeared. So that to me felt like a mystical experience. When I decided to start opening up, it happened mostly with colleagues, and of course they were very dismissive. None of them had any experience whatsoever. Meanwhile, let's say, especially between 2017 and 2020, 2021, I had so many experiences. There was a period in which I had almost daily experiences, and for me it was something that, in my mind, it was like, in the position of having so many experiences, I cannot just keep them for myself. So I embraced that, and I started speaking up, and first recording some videos, then connecting with people that also had experiences or were interested in the topic, and then slowly I also got to get some interview, maybe on some small YouTube channels or on Facebook or something, and then the big shot came with News Nation and Ross Coulthard. Few months after I met him in person at a conference of the Scientific Coalition for UAP in Huntsville. I got connected with a journalist who was in contact with an engineer and forensic technical consultant that actually develops what are called hyperspectral cameras. So these are cameras that can see outside the visible range. The idea was to try to measure the effects of the interaction with whoever I was interacting with, and to see if we could find some effect on the light, on the energy, on the frequency, of what they call the biophotonic field. So basically, human beings or even plants and animals, everybody emits light, and these hyperspectral cameras are able to characterize the light that is emitted by the body. They set up two cameras. One was a hyperspectral camera, and another one was actually a polarimetric camera, just used to measure the polarization of the light. First of all, they showed many anomalies. The first anomaly, which was visible immediately, if you look at the distribution of frequency in my biophotonic field around my face, it's anomalous because normally it's concentrated in the eyes of people. But in my case, the same high level of frequency is distributed everywhere in my face except for a region that looks almost like a mask around my eyes. Another anomaly is that normally around the person you shouldn't see a change of polarization or something. But this is what they see. Basically they were monitoring 10 points around my body, and what they saw is that as soon as I start meditating, the polarization of the light changes instantaneously everywhere. So it's almost like everything seems to suggest that there is some sort of field that forms around me that affects the energy, the frequency, and the polarization of the light. And then recently we had the chance to do new experiments, and we went in a very special place which is called Val Malenko. It's a hot spot for UFO activity, and a lot of people not only took videos and pictures of UFOs, but even of entities of different kind. So this time I was meditating, and then also this Nicola Tosi, who has extensive meditation experience, was also tested. So the results were presented to me in a form of a time series. So it's a matrix in which each square shows the frequential distribution around the body of me or Nicola at a certain time. The anomaly that is pretty clear from this matrix of results is that in the case of Nicola, the matrix is full, so the camera was always giving results at each time that was considered for the experiment. But in my case, for most of the time, more than 50% of the time, I sort of disappeared. The camera was not able to detect distribution of my biophotonic field. And the engineer had no explanation for that. They've never seen that. They tested people meditating. He said it's almost like the camera was not able to see you in the spectrum. Well, now the discussion about UAPs and UFOs and also non-human intelligence is much more open. It's reaching the media, it's reaching the Congress, and it's reaching academia in ways that a decade ago was not even possible. And also the idea that it is possible to actually connect to these crafts and to these beings is being recognized. There has been me, there has been Sarah Gam, but also more recently Jack Barber, Fred Baker, and people in that team, so military people. Maybe now what was forbidden to be heard at the time can be discussed openly, and now this information, this knowledge is propagating in a way which cannot be constrained anymore. Big times ahead.